I'm going on. When the lights go down, I see.
Hello, Discord.
I'm going on. When the lights go down, I've seen hell in you, but you don't care, no, you don't care, no. You just rather watch me fall. From a quarter mile, I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it off, you'll see who had it all. Can you let me down? Please don't let me down. Please don't let me. Can you let me down? Can you let me down? Please don't let me down. Please don't let me down. Can you let me down?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. My name's Cordell Ballard, and with me here is Cody Polly. We're here to bring you the action tonight from a previous match that happened last week on the 24th of March. This was against Aquinas College. No, you're not mishearing people, we did play them on Saturday in the GVU finals and whatnot, and we did lose rather poorly and whatnot. I was solo casting that one. Kote was over here doing moral support and being on the bench with everybody and watching the match from a player point of view. And so what we will be covering tonight will be the match that they had on the Wednesday before the finals happened. So not a lot of time to prep and to get ready, but, you know, it's still a match that they had to compete in, and so we still do want to cover it no matter how it ended up. And yeah, so UCM, though, did end second overall out of 6 teams in the GVU Cup there, Cody. I think that's a pretty good accomplishment.
I do as well. I think getting second in pretty much any tournament, especially in this region, this isn't an easy region by any means.
Oh, no.
And like especially with teams like Mizzou, although they didn't participate in this certain tournament, there are teams in this area that are competing with them, almost on level with them. So teams in this area aren't an easy pickings by any means. And I think being second in a tournament shows just how far we've come and how good we are.
Oh, definitely so. And Aquinas definitely showed their, their prowess, if you want to call it, whenever they were in the finals and whatnot. But, I mean, I think UCM did fairly well in this matchup against Aquinas, and we'll see how well they do, especially with your Culver's starting lineup for today. And I can tell you who it is because it's already been done, so it's locked in. You'll start off with Deity and Jonah on tank, Trey and Rickless Morty on that DPS lifestyle, and then DD Gaming and the Red Polka on the support. And for sure, ladies and gentlemen, this is locked in. I literally looked at the VOD before we started, made sure the right graphic was up. So, Cody, what are we going to be seeing mainly from UCM in this series, you think? Or I mean,
well, remembering this, it was a lot of rush attempts, and things usually started out really well and then proceeded to fall apart because the way Aquinas does it is they out-sustain everything that we do. Whereas we have a Lucio to speed us in and a Moira to keep pace. They have an on a BAP, and they just out-heal everything we can do before we can burn anyone down. They just back out of the fight, wait for us to waste resources, and then come back into it and rush us over with that.
Yeah, that does sound like the style that we saw against Aquinas during the finals, but it does appear that we might have a better chance. I mean, this is our first time seeing them this semester, so this is where the teams are really aiming to shine. But we'll really see how well this series goes after a short break and a word from our sponsors.
Thank you for joining us today. Before today's match, we'll be going over the rules of Overwatch. Overwatch is a 6v6 team-based game, where each map has specific objectives to complete. At the beginning of the match, and at any time during the game, the players can move into a spawn room that allows them to choose what character they want to play. They can also do this while waiting to respawn. There are 3 types of heroes that can be played. Tanks specialize in protecting allies, disrupting enemies, and occupying the front line. They have high survivability and abilities that protect themselves and others with shields and crowd control. Damage heroes are responsible for seeking out, engaging, and defeating the enemy using their varied tools, abilities, and playstyles. Lastly, support are heroes that heal, buff, and provide utility. Support heroes boost the overall performance of their team by increasing their survivability, speed, and damage output. They're generally the worst duelists and are best when surrounded by teammates. Throughout the match, players have a select set of abilities that can be used. All heroes have at least 2, although some have more. Each character also has an ultimate ability that must be charged by dealing damage or healing. Each match takes place on one of 4 types of maps: Assault, Payload, Control, or Hybrid. Payload maps have an objective that players must push to the end of a set track, with the other team defending. Whichever team can push their payload further wins. Assault maps have 2 objectives that one team must try to capture while the other team defends. Hybrid maps are a combination of the last 2 mentions, with one team capturing a point and then pushing it along a track. In control maps, players must fight over one point located in the middle of the map and hold it to fill their percentage. Finally, whichever team has won the most rounds by the end of the match will win the game.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are here on Lijiang Tower, and we'll see that UCM is going to begin their approach here and just begin trying to get there. Ooh, missed TP'd opportunity there, but DD Gaming does get across the way to boop some of Aquinas off the map into there. McBunny and Evelington off the area there, so a lot of staying gone for Aquinas here, and UCM is going to begin the pressure approach here and to push them off the map there. Rickless Morty with a kill onto Noah, and then another big nade there. Rickless Morty and DD Gaming continuing to sweep up Obra, and then Piku just taking a little dip there. And that was, even though with the bad TP there, Cody, that was a great engage there by UCM.
That was a rush gone right. That was, you saw, well, yes, Dylan did get those two early picks. We were able to leverage that aggression and keep moving without letting them quell us and make us slow down. We were moving at our pace, doing things that we wanted to, and forcing them back and out and just cycling through and killing them as they tried to get out.
Very much so. So UCM here has a good defensive position that they can hold, but we do see Obra coming out on the far right here. So the pharmacy lifestyle will be enacted here. So a little bit of a cheek secure here. Dylan trying to rope around, see if he can boop somebody into the Issuematic UCM lineup here, but it doesn't look like anything really going to happen there with DD Gaming. But Rickless Morty does melt down and get Noah down. Slam coming out from the side of Jonah, which helps Rickless Morty getting Evelington, and then the Red Polka taking out Peak, and then Rickless Morty again getting McBunny, but it looks like somebody on there is capping the point. Looks like it's going to be Obra. Obra trying to pull back attention. Almost gets a full cap on the background there, but does not escape with his life due to DD Gaming. And that got, you know, that was almost bad back capping there, you know, for UCM there, Cody.
Oh yeah, that's one thing you have to be careful of when playing a brawl, is because you have to force out. Your entire team has to move out onto their entire team to get a good engage, and they could just like sneak around and C9 you if they really wanted to. But with our speed, we're able to make it back to point, and that's one reason we use Lucio.
Oh, very much so. So true. Noah getting nano boosted here, going in and charging in. UCM going to have to do a lot to hold out. Hammer down, coming out, gets two with it, takes out Trey and the Red Polka. Jonah, though, taking out his counterpart. Beat coming out from DD Gaming. Jonah and everybody trying to hold it together. Barrage coming out from Obra, takes out 4 there. Obra with the great save there of an ultimate, and that's why you get the far in the close quarters, Cody.
Yeah, it is. 4 works incredibly well in close quarters. Even though she's a flying character, that spam damage, the explosion, is perfect against a brawl, much like a Junkrat would be, because it's able to just hit everybody and you build ult super fast.
Oh, so true, Cody. So we do see UCM here going around on the backside here, getting ready to kind of push forward and see if they can recontest the point. And Aquinas going to be wrapping around in the same manner, just trying to spam down the choke, make sure UCM can't really touch. Spam. Oh, stun coming out. We do see Trey trying to get around here. He does have Death Blossom up and running. Jonah does. Oh no, Deity taking out Noah there. Evelington taken out by the Death Blossom of Trey. UCM has a man advantage here. Val coming out on the side of Aquinas, but there are 4 down. Not really much else they can do. McBunny falls to Rickless Morty's bullets, and UCM will secure this and get it back on track. So Aquinas, not much time left on the clock to really get on there and contest. They do have the Obra that could come in there and kind of contest it. That looks like the goal here for Obra. But Obra does take out Trey while Trey takes out Obra, so a bit of a canceling out there. McBunny going onto the Lucio here, trying to get everybody on there. But UCM will cap the point here, Cody. And that was a very strong presence by UCM on this first section of Lijiang.
Yeah, that was well done. They were able to use cover correctly, force them to position in a way they didn't want to. That's one thing that I like about Rush, is because you're moving so quickly. Your position, your ideal positioning, is wherever you want to be most of the time. So you can just run at them, and you just have to be able to run in and run out really fast and just keep moving, because you don't have the sustain to stay in one spot and really anchor down like Aquinas does, which they're really good at just anchoring down. Like, especially you see when they run an on-up app, they're just able to use nade, use immortality, and just hold the point.
Very much so. And UCM and Aquinas will be here running with the Symmetra, trying to get to that TP point there and see who can get to the point first, and secure to Rickless Morty laying down the TP there. Aquinas on the point first, and UCM caught off guard as Aquinas moves to the background here. McBunny in a bit of an issue, but we do see his partner in Piku taking him out there. Red Polka taking out some turrets as well. Nope, never mind. Piku continuing to just kind of bully the backline here. McBunny pumping out a lot of heals, and UCM not able to get really any kind of footing within the point on Lijiang. So we do see Obra being prepped and on the point here. So UCM just kind of shoved off, Cody.
Yeah, that's Aquinas was able to get there first, and so they were able to get more control over that chaos.
Very much so. So UCM going to have a tall order here to recontest and get the point back, especially with the Symmetra setup on point. A lot of those Sim turrets just burning down and getting lots of damage off. 2 are down, though, on the side of Aquinas here, so UCM has an opportunity to at least not have a lot of slowing things down. But we do hear some turrets taking a lot of damage here. I do amplification makers coming out on the side of UCM. Red Polka trying to do as much healing / damage. Hammer coming out on the side. Noah, it is blocked. Crusaders down on Jonah. UCM continuing to pump it out, and that will be it for Aquinas. UCM with a good, clean team fight there, Cody.
That was I think like that team fight was really one off the shatter there. It was an incredible like parry riposte moment with blocking the shatter and then hitting your own. That's one of the best feelings you get as a Rhine, is being able to block theirs, get in their head with hitting yours. It's incredible.
Oh, it is. And so Jonah here getting super aggressive. We do hear a grab coming out on the side of Deity. 5 people are already on the point because they used the teleporter from Sim. So UCM losing the point as it's taken out from behind him. So UCM now, instead of having the advantage on the defense, now has to get back onto the offense. Jonah really low on health here. Beat coming out on the side of DD Gaming. UCM going to just barge in there. We do see a Graviton Surge coming out on the side of Aquinas, and then UCM is just going to be just burnt out there. And so that was just great playmaking on the side of Aquinas on getting back the point with the Sim teleporter there, Cody.
It is. They were able to teleport in the middle of a team fight while we were all out of position to stop that teleporter, get on the point, back cap it, and all of a sudden we're on their side of the map with nowhere to go, really.
Very much so. So UCM is going to have another just Ishmatic push here, so it does not seem like UCM's going to have a lot of fun here trying to get on there. We do see shields coming out from Reckless Morty on his end, and UCM going to continue pushing. Death Blossom coming out on the side of Trey, but he is stunned out of it. Does take out the Immortality Field on the side of Aquinas. So UCM does have a bit of an opportunity. Shield is up on a lot of ends here. Evelington taking out Jonah. ATB taking out DD Gaming once more. So Trey trying to do his best, but does get stunned out of it. UCM is just going to be pushed back. And yeah, that's going to be it on this push. Noah just getting super aggressive on this Reinhardt, making sure that nobody else can get out of there alive. And this looks like this point will go on the side of Aquinas here, Cody.
Yeah, it does. That's I feel like that you can attribute quite a lot to the McCree being able to pump out serious sustained damage at decent range while staying mostly out of the team fight, and he's been landing very good stuns against UCM the entire time. He's been able to just find a lot of good plays, able to force himself to be recognized as a presence that needs to be dealt with, and if UCM can't deal with it, they won't be able to have any easy team fights.
No, so UCM, again, having to deal with a very strategized team, and we've seen this happen before with teams that are able to just coordinate super well and able to just come up with plans on the go here. That's usually what it comes down to when it comes to this high-level play, is who all can come up with strats fastest. So we just see Aquinas here just putting down a teleporter and bumping in there. Same with Trey. Trey on the Symmetra this round, so UCM going to be trying to pump in there and get some work done. Obra still on the Symmetra on his own end, so UCM going to have a little bit of a problem there. We do see Noah. Brary are going down on the side of Noah and Aquinas, but Obra does take out Jonas, so UCM is out their own shield. We do see Reckless Morty on the Junkrat here, so that's probably why we see Trey on the Symmetra, because Reckless Morty's Junkrat has been pretty stellar so far this season, Cody.
It has, and on a map like Lijiang, where it's close quarters and tight corners, it's great for a Junkrat and a Sim to just tear up on.
Oh, very much so. So UCM is going to do their best to kind of spam down and get as much damage as they can into Aquinas. Jonah getting super low on health here, just getting melted down by the majority of Aquinas here. He does have Shatter up. He throws it up there, but nothing really comes of it. And so UCM is going to fall into an Ishmatic situation here. Trey doing his best to try and melt down the rest of Aquinas. Graviton Surge coming out on the side of ATB to just secure the stagger kills onto Deity and the Red Polka. DD Gaming getting in there and does get staggered as well. So UCM going to have to wait a bit until the rest of their team comes together. Trey getting off the Symmetra and going back to the Reaper that we all know and love. And so, man, that was just not the greatest team engage there, Cody.
It wasn't. That was probably a miscommunication of aggression levels that what they wanted to take. Saw Jonah go in there really aggressive, and the rest of his team was kind of like, I don't know about that, and they held back, and I think that didn't work for them.
Oh, so true. So UCM going up top here, waiting to see if they can get anything out of it. Reckless Morty sending out his tires, see if he can get anything, but McBunny does take it out of the sky. So UCM's going to have a little bit of an issue with no kills coming from that ultimate. High Noon coming out on the side of Evelington, trying to see if he can find anybody with it. He sells it up. Nobody gets down with it, but Evelington does get a little bit low, but we do see Trey taken out, but Noah and Piku are out on the side of Aquinas College. So UCM able to kind of jump in there and do lots of damage, but ATP charged up so much and not really losing that much else, but still able to kind of contest the point until he dies. So UCM is able to switch it over, so UCM not full held on this point here. So UCM does seem to have something to go off of here, Cody.
They do. This is a, Aquinas was just barely better than us in most of these matches, but still better, and that's what makes the difference.
Pete coming out from the side of DD Gaming to keep his team up and alive as Aquinas re-engages. UCM going to have some fun doing that, but we do see another beat coming out on the side of Pico as he tries to keep his own team alive. Tyre coming out on the side of Rickless Morty does get Obra, but ATV just staying on the high ground here, being able to continue to get his charge up. He does have Graviton Surge out, so he's waiting, ready to see if he can get anybody else out of it. He throws it out there, does get his charge up a little bit, gets most of UCM in it. Jonah throwing out a Shatter. Noah gets low and is taken down, but Rickless Morty and DD Gaming falling in the same instance. Jonah then falling as well. Trey trying to get some work done and is able to take out ATV, but a bit little late on that aspect, just getting back from spawn. So UCM in a bit of a stagger rotation here. We do only have Deity and a few other people waiting for the rest of the UCM squad here, but we do see Deity with having a bit of charge there, ready to re-engage. We do see them coming up on the high ground here. Amplification Mage coming on the side of McBunny, so UCM has to kind of dodge that and make sure that they don't die too quickly. Barry coming out on the side of UCM. We do see them engaging. High Noon coming out on the side of Evlington. ATB takes out Rickless Morty, and then Pico taking out Jonah. Evlington with a High Noon onto Trey, and then UCM is going to just continue to be staggered out here, and that's probably going to be just the match here for this map. And UCM put up one heck of a fight, but, you know, Cody, it was still just such a hard-fought match there. It looks fairly promising for UCM on the first section of Lijiang, but then on the next two, it just seemed to drag more and more towards Aquinas' favor.
It really did, because I feel like Aquinas was able to get a good read on how we were playing, and then they were able to think like, oh, well, then we need to make strats to go against that, or use some of our strats that go against that. And they did an incredible job of doing it. They were able to implement those strategies to the utmost of its effectiveness. And I feel like that's what made the difference in most of those team fights, is being able to have a well-communicated plan that you know you're going to go with.
Definitely so. So Aquinas definitely showing their strategic minds in this entire aspect. But, you know, you heard it while Cody was talking. We'll be going to Kings Row next after this short break from our sponsors.
Culver's is a proud sponsor of UCM Esports. Welcome to Delicious.
Imagine opportunity. Got it? Good. Now pursue it. Choose the right college to cultivate it. Discover your passion, your talent. Now share it. Embrace it. Go global. Find support, network, build your team. Set a goal, work hard, achieve it. Be proud of yourself. Celebrate it. Discover UCM. Discover opportunity in action.
Excited for the interview today?
I am.
Okay, let's get right to it. You're a new addition to the crayon box. What color would you eat and why?
I'm colorblind, so colors are really hard for me. But let's see here. I like blues, like a shade of blue, probably.
First game ever played?
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets on PlayStation 2. First game I ever beat too.
What's your favorite car jam to listen to?
Any like 80s classic rock, anything like that. Probably like Thunderstruck.
What would the title of your book be?
Probably something along the lines of being distracted a lot, but somehow getting through life.
What would your last meal consist of?
Oh man, that's hard. I really like food. Some kind of like pasta meal, some like gnocchi, like little soft balls of like pasta dough. Oh, so good.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. As you heard, we are on Kings Row here, and so UCM historically able to tie this map up more often than not. So, I mean, you know, we'll probably see them tie it up again, Cody, and if they do, that gives them an opportunity against Aquinas to maybe turn it around here. So UCM will be going with a classical comp, it looks like, Cody.
Yeah, pretty standard rushdown comp. You see Aquinas with the standard, they're hard sustain.
Oh, very much so, and we do see the red polka fall there to an Obra tree trunk flying across the map, so that's not what you want to start off with, because that's already a team fight loss, because you lose your sustain in the Moira. So you see them, having to sit here and wait for the red polka to get back, so we're going to see them wait around the wall here to see when they can kind of move around and do anything. UCM continuing to push forward. Jonah taking a lot of damage there in the first instance here. McBunny hiding up in the areas of the rafters of Kings Row. UCM beginning to go through that area. Reckless Morty throwing up a wall to kind of stop off the sight lines of Obra. But DD Gaming falling to Obra as well as Trey. And UCM already down 2. So not looking good. Jonah going off into a weird side quest over there. And is taken up by Evlington. And UCM just... That was a weird engage there, Cody.
It was a weird engage. It was, I think we were waiting for a wall, wanting a good wall, and I think it was just hard to find a wall to wall someone out when they're all so clumped up that they can't really be separated.
Ever so true. So UCM again holding off on the wall here. DD taking a little bit of damage. Wall going up on the side of Reckless Mori. It does look like UCM will be kind of going around here. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for the fastness. It's usually not this fast when it's live, but when it's in post, it's going to be super Sam. And so UCM going through on the high ground here, hopping off their DD, and Trey do miss the jump, and so they're going to be speed boosted by DD Gaming. UCM continuing to go up into the rafters to wrap around and get to Aquinas. So UCM is just going to hop onto the point now. Now they're going to be defending up the point. We do see Graviton Surge coming out on the side of Deity. Not from Deity, from Aquinas there, ATB, UCM, and everybody, all the Qs. Piku throwing on a Nano. High Noon coming out on the side of Evlington. North and ATB are taken down, and we do see Deity fall to the High Noon, but Obra taking out the Red Polka, and UCM is going to continue. There's just deaths left and right here. Obra and DD Gaming dueling on the point here. Will he win? No. So Obra single-handedly contesting the point almost. That sucked. That was just a unfortunate set of circumstances, but since it is a far spawn on them, UCM looks like they'll have the advantage in this upcoming team fight, and so we do see them setting up on the point here. Obra trying again to try and contest the point, but a wall does come up on the side of Reckless Morty. Obra trying to climb and nothing happened there. Blizzard coming on the side of Reckless Morty. We do see Obra start getting frozen. He is frozen. Reckless Morty's getting his sights locked onto him, but not able to finish it off. ATB on a little bit of low health. Trey taking him out, but then Obra taking out Trey. Red Polka taking out Noah, and then UCM continuing to just kind of contest this point. Jonah rolling away. Deity coming out here trying to take care of Obra. Obra is taking care of him. UCM, you know, that was just spawn advantage basically for UCM to get this point.
That was spawn advantage. They were able to make fast picks and just get to point before Aquinas was able to come back and really set up a defense. And then they were able to wall them out, hit them with Blizzard, and just force them to stay away from the point while they took.
Yeah, very much so. So UCM will begin the engage here. And so, you know, we're just going to continue to just slowly push this payload down the way. So that's good that we were able to cap the point. And so this is going to be a problem. Oh, Graviton Surge coming out on the side of UCM. They do get, looks like the hammer down does come out on the side of Aquinas, though, and gets a lot of people. Nade coming out as well. And it gets a lot of people, again, Obra popping off here and taking care of UCM's lineup there. ATB following up and doing lots of damage. Deity taking a bit of chip damage and having to fall back to get his shields to regen. UCM not able to continue that engage, Cody.
Yeah, that was where you see the difference between UCM and Aquinas' methods of engage and sustain. You saw there where you grabbed and looked for a wall, and they just threw out a nade and shattered, because nade for Ana is an incredible engagement tool to just be able to say, you can't heal now, we win.
Very much so. So UCM getting ready to engage, it looks like, from the rooftops. Trey and DD Gaming are, and so it looks like UCM is basically here in full strength, so we're going to see how well this works out. Obra looking for probably some kind of juicy shot. We do see a Graviton Surge coming out on the side of ATP, so UCM will have a bit of an issue. We just see Dragons coming out. Jonah falling to Evlington in the background here. McBunny trying to keep his team up and alive. UCM just continuing the march forward here, and they're going to get Noah down there, and Reckless Morty with the kill there, then Deity. Reckless Morty again getting some more of Aquinas' players down, and UCM able to succeed on that team fight there. It looked like, Cody. I mean, obviously they succeeded, but why did they succeed?
Oh, they succeeded there because of a little bit of a weird grab from Aquinas, and then they lost their main engage, their Ana, and one of their main supports, again, Ana. And so with the rush comp, what you want to do is you just want to run them over, and without that sustain, without that anti, we just ran them over.
Basically, big hammer coming out on the side of Jonah. Blizzard as well coming out from, oh man, big charge from Jonah, getting rid of his counterpart there. He is naded though, a little bit low on the health there, but UCM will continue to push forward. Does get 2 down on the side of Aquinas, so UCM going to continue to swing here. ATB taken down as well. Deity taking out Piku. Obra coming onto point to try and install it as much as they can, but UCM will be able to take the point and cap it. And that was a decent timing on the Blizzard and the Shatter there, Cody, but I would have wished that the Shatter was more in the Blizzard than anything.
Yeah, that makes sense to keep them in it, and that might have been the idea, but seeing that the blizzard was coming out, Aquinas probably backed off, and then Jonah was like, well, they're not going to be in the blizzard. I can't chase them into the blizzard, so I'll just shadow them right there.
That's a fair point, Cody. So UCM here on the corner trying to battle it out and see who all can take the glory from it. And so Noah and Jonah will be fighting here on the point. Jonah almost getting Noah down, and so UCM is going to do stuff. Oh, Noah with a big slam here. It does get stuff out, but DD Gaming does beat out of it. And so UCM will be able to fight a little bit longer. Reckless Morty missing the wall there to keep Noah within their rankings. And then we do see Evlington coming out with a high noon. Does have to cancel it, though, as Stray comes up behind him to shoot him up in the face. So UCM continuing to push the payload so far forward. Reckless Morty does take out Obra. And UCM just continue pushing forward. Noah gets hammered. Death Blossom coming out from Trey. And they're just trying to pour all the resources into their Rhine. Trey gets a little bit stoned, but Graviton Surge coming out from the side of Deity. Blizzard coming out on the side of Reckless Morty. UCM continuing to just push. That was a nice icicle onto the opposing McCree there. UCM continuing to try and do as much damage as they can, and UCM will succeed in pushing the point to the next level there, Cody. That was all looking sketch, but it succeeded.
It succeeded because it's last fight, and last fight means throw all of your ultimates at it. And you saw that's kind of what happened there at the end. And we were able to just force they tried to ult, and then we ulted back, and we had more ults and more crowd control, and we were able to just force them into positions they didn't want to be and then run them over.
Oh, so true. So we're going to have a whole heck of a lot of fun here as UCM comes into the position of defending the point. And so I guess what does UCM need to do here to prevent Aquinas from capping the point here?
Prevent it, they need to win fights faster. You see they have a UCM uses Lucio and Baptiste, which means speed. You use Lucio to speed onto an enemy, burn them real quick, do it again and again. It's sort of like a very close range dive almost, but obviously you're brawling it. But it's the same idea of snowballing the fight, and in order to do that you need to go fast.
You gotta go
and
fast.
That's one of the things we're good at, is just burning through a team. But the problem that we faced with Aquinas, you probably saw it Saturday too, was just them out healing it.
Very much so. And when you have double sustained healers like you do, that's just always a pain here. We do see Aquinas coming out with double snipers here with Obra and Evlington. Evlington just looking to see if he can get a quick snipe on somebody, but it doesn't look like he does get a little bit onto Jonah there. It looks like he's going to fall back and switch it out. And so Obra hopping on there. Evlington switching off onto the Echo, so that'll explain why McMoney is on the Mercy pick there. Going to kind of pocket the Echo in these situations, so UCM will be at a disadvantage of dealing with a flyer here. But, you know, Reckless Morty could try and get some snipes out with his icicles, but UCM going to be shoved into the corner here because of the sticky bombs, and UCM's just going to have to work hard to keep their sustain up. The Red Poke is on the Baptiste, so he's the one who's going to do most work. Obra getting a tree trunk into Reckless Morty there, and UCM is going to, you know, have a man down in these situations, but it does look like they're going to try and wrap around through Hotel to try and get some of their targets. But UCM not able to kind of pull through stuff. Immortality Field coming out on the side of the Red Polka. We do see a burst coming out and see UCM continuing to charge through, but ATB and Noah just doing so much work. But we do see Noah and Evlington falling to the side of Trey, and so UCM will continue to kind of hold this point. ATB going after Deity here. UCM doing a very stoic hold here. Looks like Rex Morty with the wall out. McBunny looking maybe for a res. Nope, never mind. He falls out. Ooh, Piku taken out by Jonah's Fire Strike there. And UCM will win the team fight here, Cody. And that was just, ooh, super scrappy.
That was very scrappy. You saw the re-engage with Jonah on the Ana, and sort of acted like a Winston does and just cleaves through a team and just runs through and creates the separation. And you saw he died for it, but it wasn't a bad play all in all.
Very much. And so UCM is going to have a pretty good defeat. Obra with another opening kill onto Reckless Morty here. So UCM down their biggest stall here of being able to like freeze up any kind of progression here, but UCM is continuing to just throw out resources here. Amplification Matrix is out from the Red Polka, so UCM gonna have to back off here. We do have Slam and Graviton Surge and Death Blossom here, so UCM waiting for that. We do see Death Blossom coming out from the side of Trey. He doesn't really get anybody from there. We do see Evlington switching to the Reinhardt here with his ultimate here. Hammer just coming out from everywhere, every which way. Evlington taking out Jonah. Reckless Morty falling to Noah, and UCM just not going to be able to contest with two Reinhardts on the field here as they continue to slam the crap out of UCM. And that's going to be it. And that just boiled down to too many Reinhardts.
It really did. I don't know if you saw it there, but Jonah in that team fight got shattered, then he got slept, then he got shattered again, and then I'm pretty sure he got shattered a third time. So all in all, not being able to play the game for approximately 10 seconds can lead to a pretty bad fight for us.
Very much so. So UCM not allowed to play the game, it looks like, with that series of stuff. But UCM beginning to engage here. We do have Deity on high charge here, waiting to see if they can do any kind of work. Graviton Surge coming out the side of Deity. So Nade does come out, though, pulling out that resource. And then Jonah going in there and taking out Peak. And then you see Noah falling as well as Edlington falling at the beginning of that fight there. And then we do see the McBunny here just kind of just spamming the pistol, seeing if she can get attention and just be wrecked out. So UCM able to win that team fight there based off of the Graviton Surge and everybody coordinating a little bit on the attack there. Jonah pushing forward a little bit hard here. So Aquinas not out of the fight, it looks like, Cody.
No. With the spawn advantage, they're able to get back super quickly compared to us.
Oh, very much so. So UCM going to be holding onto the card here as we do see Aquinas going up onto the high ground here, being all Obi-Wan Kenobi style. DD Gaming trying to come up there and make him not be on the high ground anymore, but not really going to attest anymore to it. So you see him continue to just kind of hold the high ground here. You do wonder where the rest of Aquinas is. There's one person missing from up top there. We do hear arrows coming out from Obra. Obra does do the hard flank to look for some picks here. DD Gaming going in for the duel against Obra and does succeed. So DD Gaming getting that win there. And Jonah getting a kill onto Evlington with just the shatter here. We do see McBunny running off onto the side here, trying to get back to spawn before she dies. But it doesn't look like DT Gaming is going to allow that to happen. And so, almost stagger kill, though, onto McBunny, and UCM will win another team fight, Cody.
Yep. And that was, you saw at the beginning of the team fight, their Reinhardt went in, and then the rest of the team got walled off, and they couldn't go do the engage with him, so he just got singled out and burned down.
Oh, jeez. So UCM doing well in these first few team fights, so we'll see if UCM can continue to stay strong. DD Gaming taking a lot of damage there. Jonah is subbed and is naded. UCM beat coming out as well as the Blizzard go out on the side of Frickus Morty. We do see a bunch of people dying there. I don't know if the beat was necessary in that instance there, Kote. Maybe I missed something.
I don't know. It seemed a bit odd to me as well, but it might have been in response to the grab, because you see AGP is now at 0% charge. I believe the grab was thrown there. It didn't find anything, but that was probably just muscle memory from DD Gaming.
Very much so. And it looks like we do find another win condition here for Aquinas. Trey, though, getting 2 with his Death Blossom. Getting 3, trying to see if he can continue it, and does get, looks like a kill on maybe onto AGB. He does. So UCM is a bit of a main advantage here, but Evlington just in the back here does take out 2 on the side of UCM, mainly the main tank and the Red Polka, who have all the healing sustain here. With spawn disadvantage here, Aquinas has the upper hand when it comes to pushing this payload a little bit farther, Cody.
They do, because they'll get back to that fight a lot faster than we will, because we are half a map away while they're right next to it.
Well, they're just living next door. So UCM is going to have to give up the position they had by the library, or the bookstore, excuse me. And so UCM is just going to have to hold around the corner here of this little distillery. And so hopefully UCM can kind of say, we do see we hear a shatter coming out from the side of Jonah, and Jonah pays for it with his life from a shatter from his counterpart in Noah. Graviton coming out from the side of Deity. Nothing else really happening there. Trey trying to stay alive with some shotgun shells. Does take out Evlington before he can kind of get anything. Trying to see if he can take out ATB, but ATB not taking any of it. So UCM does lose that team fight there. Is that just because of the weird flank on Jonah's part, or is it just something else, Cody?
I think the flank wasn't a terrible idea. I just think that the rest of the team of Aquinas was somewhat ready for it. You saw the lamp came out immediately, and it just wasn't able to do anything. The Grav then went out and didn't find anything because they were down their cover. They didn't have a Reinhardt to get close to do the damage, so they couldn't capitalize on it.
Very true. So UCM in a bit of a tight contest here, but they do have similar timing frames here on Aquinas here, so UCM being able to kind of hold it together. And we do see Rickus Morty trying his best to kind of icicle damage here with the Obra here. UCM continuing to try and get a good foothold here. We do see Aquinas pushing the card forward, but we do see them losing some Graviton Surge coming on the side of ATB, my apologies. We do see, oh man, Amplification Matrix is coming out on both sides here. Beat coming out on the side of DD Gaming, continuing to just kind of keep people out of there. Trey with a Death Blossom gets 3 out of it. Evlington kind of trying to do some work there and does get assistance from ATB on taking care of Trey. So UCM is able to kind of slow down that team fight there. Evlington just kind of hard shielding until stuff goes down. And the shatter does come out though, but then Deity does find the secure the kill onto Evlington there. UCM able to cover very well from that team fight there, Cody.
They were. That was Trey in the back line doing what he does with the sneaky Death Blossom, doing wonderful work there.
Doing the Lord's work in the background, and so UCM going into last fight territory here. If they're able to hold this, they'll be able to continue on stuff. Hammer coming out of the side of Noah. That might save them out here. UCM going to have to do some work here, but it does look like almost everybody on UCM's side does begin to fall down, and that will be it. Aquinas does get a team wipe onto UCM here, and that's just going to probably be the end of it. We do see Jonah get in there. He does get a little bit of stuff going, but he won't be alive for very much longer. We do see a Blizzard coming out on the side of Rickless Morty, so UCM does still have an opportunity here. DD Gaming trying to continue to kind of contest. Graviton Surge coming out on the side of UCM. We do see so much damage coming out. Rickless Morty does fall to Noah, though. UCM trying to continue to just contest this point. Graviton Surge coming out on the side of ATB, but UCM not able to, just continuing to trickle. Jonah trying to do his best with his ball movements. Not really else going to do there, but that's going to be it. UCM cannot stop it, but it was capped in overtime, so UCM does get some more time on the clock than Aquinas here, Cody.
They do, and that's one of the biggest things that you can have is time. Because while it is an objective-based game, that objective is almost entirely reliant on how much time you have.
Definitely. So basically what's going to happen here, folks, is that if UCM can cap a singular point here onto Aquinas, or get a single tick, I believe, we'll see when the indicator appears here, then UCM will win the map. If Aquinas can prevent UCM from capping a single tick on the point, then the map will be tied, which we all know how that goes and how that usually operates here with UCM. That's more than likely the outcome, if we're going to be honest here. The statistics don't lie, Cody.
Looking at statistics, it's definitely more than likely.
Yeah.
But yes, you only need one more. You only need one tick on the attack here for us to win the map, and I believe it's very possible with UCM's rush. If we're able to just rush in quick, force them out of position, and then hold point for just long enough to get that tick, it'd be perfect. Because while they have the sustain, that also means with that sustain, they have to give up space in order to heal up. Unlike us, who are able to just rush in and just force our way into a position.
So true. So, yep, as you see, ladies and gentlemen, they just have to get to that triangle, so one tick on the point here, and UCM will win the map here. So we're going to see how well that's going to operate for them as they continue to march forward here between Statue and the hotel here. Deity taking so much damage from the tree trunks of Obra there. UCM just taking so much damage from Aquinas here. Obra just pumping so much damage in their sonar arrow coming out so you can see where UCM's going. He does see Jonah kind of popping out there, does spam out his storm arrows. UCM getting onto the point here, but does take out Trey. Obra does, and UCM going to try and continue to cap onto this point here. And so UCM, oh man, is a bit of an issue here. Big Bunny rezzing over there, but Evlington and Noah kind of saving stuff. ATB getting low, but is able to shield himself quickly enough, and UCM will be pushed off the point here, Cody.
Yep, that's what I was talking about. You saw that Aquinas did give space. They did give us an area to operate in, but as soon as they had their resources back, they just collapsed on us. And while we did wall them up, we walled them out of position. We didn't quite hit the wall in the right spot, and they were able to just walk around it and engage. Very true. And Rickless Morty swapping off onto the Hanzo himself. And so maybe a little bit too late here, but UCM will continue to see if they can put it on the point. 20 seconds left on the clock. We do see Coalescence coming out on the side of UCM, so this is their opportunity to kind of capitalize on stuff. Application Matrix coming out well. High Noon, Graviton, Dragons, High Noon, Evlington taking out the majority of UCM there, taking care of the lineup, and we do see Trey falling as well to Evlington. Evlington single-handedly saving the point with the Graviton Surge assistance as well, and they just continuing to get the kills onto UCM, and that'll be it. Overtime ticking down. Jonah trying to get onto point, but that's not going to work out, and UCM will not be able to continue on and get the point. But, I mean, Cody, we're not surprised at this, are we? Are we? Not really. That's King's Row. We've got a curse for that spot, I swear. Things never seem to go quite the way we want it to. No, it never does, Cody. And so that's always the disappointing part of it all. But maybe UCM can turn it around since it is a draw. It is 1-0, so there might be a chance to begin a process of getting back into the series, and we'll hopefully see them do that after this short break.
Taylor Industries is a proud sponsor of UCM Esports, a family-owned and operated business.
College, you don't want a piece of paper. You want an opportunity. The opportunity to lead, to innovate, to transform. The opportunity to excel beyond what you thought possible. At the University of Central Missouri, your goals are achievable because we give you more support so your ambition faces fewer obstacles. Embrace your potential with the backing of 150 years of academic excellence, with undergraduate and graduate degrees available in Warrensburg, Lee Summit, and online. Discover UCM. Discover opportunity in action.
Are you ready for the interview today?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get right to it. What's the first thing you would buy with $1 million?
Well, I would probably try to keep some of the money for later, but I would probably buy a house.
What would be your superpower?
I would have the power to be invisible.
What would the title of your book be?
The Story of Marcus.
What would your last meal consist of?
I'd probably just have pizza as my last meal.
If you could cyber enhance one body part, what would it be?
My arm.
First game ever played?
Trying to remember now. It was a long time ago, but I think one of the first games I played was Mario.
What's your favorite car jam to listen to?
It depends, but I really like Weird Al, so I would have to say Elmish Paradise by Weird Al Yankovic.
You're a new addition to the Crayon Box. What color would you be?
I would say probably Crazy Plum.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are here on Watchpoint Gibraltar, so UCM will be popping into a escort map here, so basically as far as they can push the payload, and we'll see how well that goes. So we do see Obra staying on that Hanzo, McBunny staying on the Mercy, it looks like, so UCM is going to continue going. It looks like UCM's going into a bit of a dive comp here, Cody.
We are. Watchpoint Gibraltar, with the way the map is laid out, is incredible for a dive, the way you can engage freely from the air and anywhere, really.
So true, and we do see Bite Me coming in on the side of Trey, so we will see a lot of Echo coming out of Bite Me today. So that's why you see him here. We might see some Doofus, and with Watchpoint Gibraltar, we might see a Torb. I'd be very surprised if we did, but you know, you never know. You never know with these guys. So you see him just being pushed back a little bit. DD Gaming on the Zenyatta here, taking lots of damage there as he's a slow monk. Very peaceful, very pacifist, whatnot, but he shoots orbs and kills people with it. It's a very oxymoronic lifestyle that he lives. Reckless Morty on the Sombra here as he continues to push that forward. Jonah going in hard onto the dive area. Excuse me, continuing to just disrupt the front line and the back line. Really, mainly his goal is the back line for Aquinas. So Reckless Morty looking to try and get maybe a hack off onto somebody of Aquinas. Is falling back there. Jonah coming in. We do see McBunny getting low, and Reckless Morty does capitalize on that. Belt me taking out Evlington, but Noah taking out the red focus. So that's a lot of sustain. And DD Gaming taken out too. So Noah taking out the support line for UCM, and that will be a bit of a victory there for Aquinas in this team fight. And so we do see DD trying to fall back over, taking out other people. And yeah, UCM's attack here is just falling apart here, Cody.
It is, and I think that came down to not being ready for the counter dive onto our supports. Not being ready for that means that they were just able to, you know, easily pick off our supports because they weren't able to take out a 500 HP tank while they're both 200 health.
Basically, so UCM getting regrouped here, but the tanks do take a lot of damage on the side of UCM, so Bite Me trying to see if they can get him a little bit of room here, but we do see that Aquinas will have almost all their ultimates up and online, while UCM only has one. We do see North going in. Pulls out Transcendence on the side of DD Gaming here, so UCM is going to have a lot of fun here. Noah is left, though, and naded. Ult battery time for Noah, and UCM does take out Noah. Noah being the sacrificial lamb, but Piku also taking damage and falling as well. Noah trying to do his best and take care of McBunny, and he does. McBunny does fall, and we do see mines in the background there from Jonah. You see him, Evlington putting up a high noon, but is canceled out by Jonah. Bomb coming out, and Diva is nano boosted by the red polka. So Baby Diva ultimate form is you know, Super Saiyan right there. So UCM going to continue and push the payload there. Was that just an accidental nano boost?
Probably. It was probably the panic of, oh shoot, because Nano is a full heal.
Very much so, and Reckless Morty popping off with a an EMP there, and UCM will be able to continue to cap the point there. I'm assuming we would probably want to hold on to that EMP a little bit longer, though, Cody.
Usually, yes, you don't use an EMP in a cleanup, but I mean, considering how far they're able to push them right now, I'm not opposed to the way they did it.
This is fair. So UCM is in a bit of an advantage here as they continue to kind of push forward here. Jonah on his classical ball, the hero he's more acquainted with. And so we do see Noah trying to contest with all that. Obra coming in with his arrows to try and burst down Jonah. Jonah hiding off to the side here and is going to do a little bit of a flanking route here, it looks like. And then the rest of Aquinas is going to be trying to see if they can pop off and take care of the rest of UCM. Jonah is going to send out mines here, it looks like, to see if they can take out most of Aquinas. And it does look like it's going to work out, but Bite Me does fall to the side of Evlington. UCM is just... They're able to get a couple kills, but then Aquinas is able to stabilize and not really lose any more people. ATB is able to kind of burst in there. Reckless Morty taking out Pika, but then Obra taking out Reckless Morty. Evlington does get a high noon off onto DD Gaming. Obra taken out by Jonah by the end. ATB taking out Jonah. And so UCM back on the back pedal here as we see McBunny rezzing Obra so that he's not having to do a long walk from spawn. What's failing here for UCM, Cody?
I think it is target priority. You see them diving onto DPS often, but I feel like they need to dive the Ana or dive the Mercy and force their supports out, because you saw it worked for Aquinas that one time, and that's because supports are almost always the perfect option to dive, because as soon as they lose that heal, they lose that sustain, they lose a lot of options.
This is very true. We do see Jonah hopping on the high ground here to see if he can kind of get a better angle here. Noah having to fall back, and he's getting ready to go back in there and try and see if he can take care of the rest of UCM. Jonah trying, Reckless Morty doing some stuff, but we do see Nano Boost onto the side of Jonah, working on trying to take care of Obra, but Obra just getting all the healing in the world. We do see a bomb coming out, and it does get Evelyn and Obra, so the DPS lineup for Aquinas is down. We do see Graviton up and ready for the side of ATB, so UCM is going to have to work on some stuff. ATB, again, with a good bubble onto Piku to keep him alive from Jonah. UCM just having some issues in the background here. Noah doing lots of work, but he is going to be discorded and he's going to be taken up by Reckless Morty. UCM is going to be in a bit of an advantage here. ATB getting low on that health lifestyle, so UCM will be able to capitalize and be able to win a little bit of this team fight. We do see that the DPS lineup for Aquinas is back into the lineup here, but Obra is taken up by Bite Me, and so UCM will be able to push this point, it looks like, all the way, Cody.
It would look like that. You see them coming in at last second, and I don't think they'll be able to touch to stop it. You see.
Nope. UCM will be able to secure that. DD Gaming does fall, though, to the side of Evlington. So UCM will have a little bit more of a issue-matic thing going on here. Deity does get slapped, but we do see Bite Me going on to the Angry Monkey form and does fall. Deity going back to spawn to switch off onto something here. Bite Me does get basically demeched in his sense and switching off into something. Or I guess Deity was just waiting for the rest of his team to show up. So now coming out from the side of Obra to see where everybody's going here. We do see that Reckless Morty does have EMP up, and we'll see how well this works out for him. If he's able to secure an EMP onto some of the key targets of the DPS, then there won't be a lot of damage output happening here, or to prevent ATB from being able to shield people. We do see Aquinas getting ready with a good stack of ultimates here. UCM only has the Shran. Evlington taking out Bite Me. UCM in a man down advantage here. And EMP coming out on the side of Reckless Morty does get 4. So UCM Valk is going to be coming out on the side of Aquinas. UCM has a little bit of an option here. Jonah going on to the Reinhardt level here. So we do want that kind of brawly comp here. So UCM in a bit of an advantage here, but Deity is going to get DMAC. Jonah's going to have to push off here and make sure not to die. Never mind, Jonah's going to charge in and do some work. It looks like able to pin somebody, but not able to really kill anybody. Noah does take care of Jonah with cleave damage. So the Red Polka and the rest of UCM will have to just back off in this instance. So if you're UCM, do you stick with the Diva, or do you want to switch off and go to the Zarya in this instance?
Personally, I believe Zarya is better in this situation. Diva works very well, but with Zarya and a Monkey, with 2 beam characters that her DM can't do anything against, it doesn't work quite as well.
As you say that, Deity does secure a kill onto Noah there, but UCM is going to continue to do some stuff. We do see a bomb coming out on the side of Deity, so UCM is going to try and see if they can do anything with that. We do see a Graviton Surge coming out, and we do see a Transcendence coming out as well from Deity, or from DD Gaming, so UCM's going to be able to push in there, and Noah taking out Bite Me, but we do see ATP gets Nano boosted, and he's going to be taken out as well, but we do see the rest of UCM just continue to get trickled down. Piku taken out, Reckless Morty, DD Gaming is taken out by Piku as well, so Jonah's going to have to call back, but does get stunned and is taken out, so Obra and the rest of Aquinas here is just able to survive through that onslaught of UCM, Cody.
They are, because they have really high sustain and really good movement characters.
Very much so. So UCM going to try and get onto point here to just kind of contest it. What? Hold up.
That's Overwatch.
Hold up, Blizzard. That ball was in the engine of the payload. Am I mistaken? The ball was in the engine of of the pay. Okay. Whatever. So UCM will not be able to push it to all 3 points. So what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is if Aquinas can push it to that point on the map, Aquinas will win the map. And then they will be in the lead of the series and on to match point. So UCM needs to try and contest this as best as they can. And so, I mean, I think UCM has the skill set, has the know-how of how to stop that. But can you tell the people at home what would be needed in order to stop Aquinas from capping all 3 points here, Cody?
It's going to be something similar to what you saw Aquinas doing with the counter dive. Like, their dive comes in, and as soon as their dive comes in, we can dive their back line. I feel like the setup that we have going right now, it works incredibly well for a counter dive, because you see the Brig and the Ana can support each other in the back line. The Brig can stuff a dive pretty well just by herself, and then support the Ana as she heals our frontline tanks as they go in. And if we can counter dive using those pieces that we have, we'd be able to tear them up here.
Oh, very true. We do see UCM coming out with a kind of similar dive strat. Jonah on the ball, his classic there. But DD Gaming on the Brigida, I guess he's there to kind of help pocket the red polka, Cody.
Yes, it's usually about, stuffing a dive, like I was saying earlier, making sure they can't execute it as well as they want to.
Very true. We do see Rickless Morty trying to finish off some people on the side of Aquinas. Rickless Morty, but it's taken out by McBunny. So UCM, Rickless Morty does get dunked on by a Mercy. You don't really like seeing that. Red Polka kind of hanging out at the below the rest of the area here. Evlington on the Widow as well. Does get taken up by Jonah, though, so UCM is in good position here. The payload continues to move as UCM just kind of lets it do its thing. Bite Me takes an arrow to the face from Obra, and UCM is just going to have to continue trying to hop on there. Rickless Morty might be in the fight again. Nope, I don't see him anyway, so UCM going to have to hop on there and fall back a little bit. Obra looking for a kill on something. DD Gaming trying to do his best, trying to keep everybody up in life, but does take a lot of arrows from Obra, and the Red Polka will try and do some stuff, but does get naded by his counterpart on the side of Aquinas. Obra, as we've seen, being able to hit shots lately, can't seem to hit the jumping Ana, but don't you worry, buddy, Noah's there. We'll let this one mistake slide. So Rickless Morty trying to contest the point, does contest for a little bit, but Aquinas will cap the point there. But that was kind of funny there. Obra just shooting around, trying to hit the jumping Red Polka. It was humor. So UCM on the back pedal once more, Cody. This is not looking good.
No, and I think it comes down to the difference in picks here. You see a ball and a monkey. You see that Aquinas doing a bit more of a double bubble, having a bit more sustain and being able to last longer in every fight.
Very much so. So UCM just has to try and see if they can burn down and melt out Aquinas here, as we do see Jonah just going in there with his mines. We'll see if he's going to be able to let it go, but he is going to have a little bit of an enigmatic. Does mine the payload there to see if he can keep Aquinas from coming onto the point there. We do see Graviton Surge coming out on the side of Aquinas. ATB in the background here. We do see Slam coming outside from UCM. Bite Me taking out ATB. We do see a Nano Brig on the field here, ladies and gentlemen. So Bite Me is a very happy camper by swinging his mace and doing lots of damage, but Nano Boost is gone. He does have Radley. Nano Boost onto the monkey here of Noah. He's going to go up and see if he can contest the Red Polka. DD Gaming is naded. He's going to try and see if he can survive this through Rally. And so we do see him going to survive because of Rally. Noah doing his best to try and melt down the ulting Brig, but that's not going to work out. So you see him continue to do stuff. DD Gaming naded again and taken out. EMP coming out on the side of Rickless Morty. He does get 3. Piku does fall. Noah is getting a little bit low, and so UCM is going to continue pushing there. Bite Me going off and duping the monkey of Aquinas is going to ult off and just take care of business. We do see an ultimate coming out on the side of Obra. It does seem to contest the payload a lot, but UCM just not able to continue and take out the tank line of Aquinas here. We just see High Noon coming out on the side of Evlington. Evlington looking to see if he can cap anybody. Does get a lot of damage out onto Jonah, and then UCM continues to try and contest it, but a little bit too late there. So UCM's going to have to fall back there. Deity is demagged. And so, Evlington is slept by on the side of the Red Polka, but then Red Polka is punched by ATB. The UCM, again, on the hard backpedal here, not looking so good, Cody.
Not at all, and that's, again, the difference in sustain. With the Mercy, you have the boost of damage as well as the boost in healing, which changes a lot of the way a team fight has to happen.
Very much so. And Rickless Morty dying at the beginning of this team fight, so UCM not going to be able to charge up the EMP as quickly as they would like to, so UCM has to continue to drag in there. Jonah does have mines up and is working to see if he can kind of contest it. Gets out there, looks like he's going to try and do some stuff. Does put mines out on the field. Evlington does flashbang UCM, but okay, Jonah gets an Ana boost here. He's looking to see if he can take care of some business here. Ignores the Mercy with the healing aspect of there, so we do see UCM continue to just kind of contest it. No, he does get hacked by me, is finishing that off, but UCM has to prevent Aquinas from pushing it to that yellow square there that Jonah's rolling in for another 4 minutes, Cody. It's going to be a long haul.
Very long haul, especially on this point where both spawns are so close and fights just keep happening and happening and happening because those teams are able to get out so quickly.
This is so true. Jonah looking for an opportunity to try and jump in and take care of business. We do see DD Gaming just kind of holding on to the point here, trying to keep the Red Polka safe and secure. He does see the Monkey coming in. He does hammer him. We do see a rally coming on the side of DD Gaming, and UCM is going to continue trying to do some stuff. Oh, missed whip on there, so UCM is going to get contested into the payload. We do see a high noon coming out from Edlington, but enough of a zone there for UCM to be pushed off of the point there, Cody. Yeah, you just hate to see it there. So UCM will not be able to hold on to the point there, and that will be another map point for Aquinas. So they are up 2-0 in the series right now, and it is match point for them. So
yeah, that's that last fight came down to Aquinas being incredible at zoning UCM out with both a grav, which is hard CC and forces them into one spot, and then high noon, which no one wants to peek a high noon because you never know when he's going to pull it. So they had to stand back away from point, and then when they tried to touch just at the last second, they weren't quite able to make it.
Yeah, so UCM missing it just by that much, so that means it might be a little bit of a closer series into the next map, and hopefully we'll find out what it is after this short break.
Culver's is a proud sponsor of UCM Esports. Welcome to Delicious.
Might as well go.
What's your favorite car jam to listen to?
Car jam?
Yeah.
I don't know, anything EDM.
What was the first game you ever played?
That would be some Atari game. I'll go with Pitfall.
Who would narrate your life?
I'd have Cuss to do it from the Overwatch League.
If magic was real, what spell would you try out first?
Turn into a dragon.
Would you rather have a third eye or a third arm?
Third arm would be way more useful.
What's the first thing you would buy with $1 million?
An epic gaming setup.
Where's your dream destination?
New Zealand.
Where do you drop the line between soup and cereal?
No comment.
Fair enough. Describe your perfect day.
Playing video games, learning more about it.
If you were a salad, what kind of dressing would you be?
Caesar.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are on the Temple of Anubis here. So this is a 2CP map that UCM will be competing on against Aquinas College. And so UCM is in a bit of a pickle here. It is match point for Aquinas. So basically, if Aquinas can win this map, they will win the series. And UCM will take an L for the day. And so this is going to be a lot of fun. We do see Bite Me staying into the lineup here. UCM continuing to kind of riffle off onto the side here to just kind of speed up onto the high ground here where Aquinas is just sitting there watching and waiting. Aquinas really spread out, and they are running the double bubble style, as we can see here with Aquinas and then UCM DD Gaming trying to bump in. Noah there, but Noah taking a lot of damage there, and he does fall, and Eveling falling to Rickless Morty as well, who's playing the Hanzo today, and UCM continuing to try and push forward. We do see a lot of critical health on the side of UCM. Red Polka does fall to Obra's Rockets of Death, and so we do see a res, though, on the side of Aquinas. I think I heard it slept on the side of Peak, and UCM trying to get on their deity low on health. Jonah just pushing in there super hard, does get Peak, UCM going to come back on the point. Charge coming out from Jonah, try and contest something. UCM continuing to kind of hold on to the point. ATB with lots of charge there. UCM just kind of peeking around and trying to hold the point here. Bite Me taking out Noah here. And then, so Evelington taking out Rickless Morty. UCM down. Just a lot of people. The tanks of UCM just too low on health to really is trying to stay alive and to contest. Just getting a little bit of HP as they can here, ATB, and doing stuff. Oh, we do see a slam coming out. Oh, McBunny almost saved by the bubble there of ATB, but no Moss, and so UCM continue to try and contest the point here. Deity trying to do their best, but does die and loses charge there. Deity Gaming coming on there and does die to ATB. ATB again just being stoic at high charge here to hold off UCM, and that was scrappy, and we lost a scrappy fight there.
We did lose a scrappy fight, and I think that came down to cooldowns. You saw that we didn't have a Zarya there, and they had a Zarya, and the Zarya makes a lot of difference with a bubble. 200 health, and then she's able to just melt people.
Very much so. Graviton Surge coming out on the side of ATB into that little corridor area, and we do see Noah getting lots of kills there. Obra getting a kill on the Dragons, and so that was just a super aggressive push forward on the side of ATB and all of Aquinas to just kind of get UCM as they're trying to transition through the point. But you know, you got Grav and Dragons out, but the order has begun of what all is going to happen here, because we do have Bob, and we do have Nano, and we do have Valk on the side of Aquinas. UCM will have Dupe here for the next fight, does have Cole, will have Beat more than likely, and then Dragons should be fairly charged by the time we get into any kind of fight here. Deity with the Grav here, so we're hopefully kind of get something there. Jonah taking so much damage just within the push there. Half of UCM is naded and low on health, so they're going to have to wait to kind of charge up that health before they can really engage onto anything. So UCM just time ticking away on them. Deity trying to hold the point here. We do see a Bob coming out on the side of Aquinas. Bob's going to be causing some chaos back there. Bite Me switching into a Reinhardt. Will be coming up behind. No, he'll be in the front here. Trying to do some damage, just trying to continue to block the Bob. Bite Me just taking a lot of damage. DD Gaming does get a boop onto the Evelington Bob there. And takes him out. Hammer down coming out of the side of everything. And we do see so much death and destruction coming out on the side of UCM, hopefully. Obra does take out DD Gaming, though. Bite Me with Sticky Bombs taking out Obra and Peak. So UCM throwing out heal orbs as best they can. Evelington taking out Bite Me, but Jonah taking out Noah. UCM does have a managed advantage, but we do see Mick Bunny going in there and rezzing Peak. Peak probably not wanting to be in the situation anyways. Will be taken out by Rickless Morty, and so UCM will be able to take the point here, Cody, and win that scrappy fight.
Very scrappy. Very, very scrappy. And I think a good display of Echo's strengths with sticky bombs who can hit in anybody that's really close enough. Similar to a Pharah who finds so much value against a brawl. Anyone that's clumped up and gets hit with stickies, either they have to spread out or they both take so much damage.
So true, and Bite Me being able to just play this Echo at a very high level, and you know, having to watch out for two snipers and dodge as best as he cannot be fun. And so UCM going to kind of come over here. We do see Dynamite coming out on the side of Aquinas College, and so UCM is going to kind of hop up here to Bite Me. Oh, does take an arrow to the face though. So UCM will be down their sticky bomb pain here. And then ATB taking out DD Gaming, so UCM is going to have to reset here. And so just going to have to kind of, wow, okay. Red Polka trying to sustain himself on the point, and that's just not going to happen. Rickless Morty just kind of falling back with his Hanzo. Oh, does take out Evelington, though, with a lot of costume. So we do have the res coming out, though, on the side of McBunny. So there will be no res more than likely for this upcoming team fight, but we do have almost 4 key ultimates coming out on the side of Aquinas here. So they're probably going to grab Dragon very quickly onto the beginning of this point. They know UCM's kind of pathing here, and so they're just going to probably charge in there and get it all done. Noah also has Shatter ready to contest that point, and then we have Bob, good old Bob, ready to do his work, doing the Lord's work. And so UCM going to go onto the left-hand side of the point here, so UCM will have a little bit of fun, hopefully, in being able to contest what all they can. Jonah does have a big juicy Shatter ready to do some stuff. We do see ATB kind of pushing forward. Rest of UCM, we do see Grav coming out on the side of ATB, and so DD Gaming is slept, so he's not able to beat to save anybody. So UCM's just going to have to fall back and regroup. And so that's just going to suck on the side of UCM, Cody.
It was, but well, we didn't win the fight. We were able to build quite a bit of progress for our ultimates. And I think, well, you know, the ultimate goal is always winning. Having a dry fight just to get ults is not bad every once in a while.
This is true. UCM was able to get a lot of ultimate charge within that push, so they do have a few more ultimates online than what Aquinas had beforehand. Aquinas will be getting a nano boost here and ready, so that's probably going to go either onto the Evelington or onto the Noah. And so UCM is going to try their best. Coalesce is coming out on the side of the Red Polka. UCM going to be getting their engage. We do hear Dragons coming out on the side of stuff. Nano coming out onto Noah. Hammer down coming out as well. UCM beat coming out. Bob coming out as well. ATB doing some stuff. Jonah with a hammer, but it is not going to hit anybody. DD naded and taken out by Peak. UCM going to have to do some work here. The Red Polka needs to get in there and do some healing onto his Rhine. Just getting caught off by walls here. Jonah's going to take so much damage. He's spraying so far away, but there's a nade, and so there's not really much else he can do to help out anything. We do see UCM continue to kind of cap this point. It does look like UCM will have an opportunity here. We do see Noah coming in here as a charging person, and UCM's going to try and continue to kind of contest this point. DD Gaming, UCM trying to continue to contest the point, but most of Aquinas is back onto the point, and Red Polka is going to take a lot of damage here. We do get a Graviton Surge coming out on the side of Deity, and so UCM is going to continue to kind of pour onto this point. Jonah taking out 2 with his attack run there onto the Death Star trenches, and UCM will continue to cap this point. They're getting so close to having the point. UCM ATB. Not UCM ATB. ATB falling on the side of Aquinas. UCM continuing to kind of contest the point here. We do have a Tracer on the side of Evlington. McBunny trying to do some contesting. Noah coming out on the Reinhardt trying to contest the point as best as he can. But I don't think it's going to work out here. It's just basically a trickle fest on the side of Aquinas. Jonah trying to just continue to wreck the face of Aquinas. And so UCM is going to do their best to continue to contest. This Deity does fall, though, to the side of Obra. DD Gaming trying to do some work here. Peak does fall. And Graviton Surge coming outside. HB beat coming out on DD Gaming. Oh, Pulse Bomb coming out as well. Jonah just rolling back and forth, just doing so much. And UCM will contest the point with some mines. It's just a drug-out fight here. Polka, with his Coalescence, helps takes out some people, takes out 2, and UCM will be able to get the last stick that they need on that point there. And that was just a matter of craziness there, Cody. I don't even know how that was operating.
That is overtime on 2CP is always just nuts. It's chaos incarnate. It's impossible to really track anything. I know personally when we're doing scrims, when we're playing games, when I'm playing, I'm yelling out just whatever I think they have or wherever somebody is, because it's information that's vital, but you can't spend too much time thinking about it. You just have to say it.
Oh, so true. So UCM able to take it to 2 in the overtime section here. So we'll see if UCM is going to be able to hold a stoic defense. If they're able to hold a stoic defense and prevent Aquinas from taking both points, then UCM will be in a... I'm sorry again, folks. Oh, never mind. So we're waiting on DD Gaming to switch to the break here. So UCM will be on it looks like, again, we're going to have DD Gaming going with this break pick because of something. I'm guessing this is more for, like, going in with Jonah, but we have a SIG. Huh.
Yeah, it might be because they're expecting another double bubble run at them, and so having a Brig to kind of stuff the monkey jump, you can either use Flail to use knockback and mess up his jump, or when he lands, stun him as he lands and then just melt him.
This is fair. So UCM does seem to have a plan of attack here, but you see Rickless Morty on the Junkrat trying to get some spam damage out. So UCM going to continue to kind of hold some stuff here. It does look like there's somebody AFK on the side of Aquinas, because you do see, Ash and Mercy are now coming out of spawn there. So UCM going to kind of flank over there. So UCM will be attempting to hold this side here. Deity not on his traditional Zarya pick, but on the SIG here. So UCM going to have a lot more utility, a lot more shields here to kind of block any kind of incoming damage on the side of Aquinas College here. UCM just going to continue to have a lot of pain and suffering. And so it looks like UCM is going to have to fall back here, because Deity and whatnot is the last man standing, and Aquinas will wipe out the rest of UCM's squadron and begin to take the point here, Cody.
And yeah, you talked about them being AFK in the first bit. That might have been them deciding if this pick was good, and then you saw it worked out for them in the end, because they were able to create a pinch with the Ash Mercy on their high ground, and then the rest of the team funneling through that tunnel created a pinch where UCM had to, pick a poison, basically.
And UCM is switching off onto a ball sig comp here, and it looks like Jonah able to hop in there and take out Ober, and Bite Me finishing up Evlington. So UCM in a good area here. Rickless Morty taking ITB with a Storm Arrow throw here. UCM continuing to just kind of push forward. Peak trying to get out of there, but UCM, again, able to kind of hold the point here. And yeah, so UCM looks like they're going to stick with this ball sig strat, Cody.
Yeah, well, one of the things about this point on Anubis is there's so much cover for a ball to just hide and then swoop in, either get a pick or just get a lot of ult. It's not a terrible point for ball, and the Sigma is not really an anchor anymore, as much as he becomes just kind of a distraction, creating a pinch like they did on the first point.
Very much so. So UCM going to have a little bit of an advantage here. DD Gaming hopping into the back line, see if he can take care of the Mercy and the rest of Aquinas' lineup there. But the rest of Aquinas does hop into the little corridor area here to try and deal with everything they got. We do have a grab flux coming out on the side of UCM. Deity is getting a good chunk of Aquinas up into the air there. We do see a rock coming out on the side of Deity. UCM going to have to back off a little bit. Amplification makes coming out inside of Peak. UCM going to have a lot of fun here. It looks like in this little area. UCM just spamming all of the damage that they can. ATB taking a lot of their Graviton Surge coming out on the side of Aquinas there. ATB just hiding off into the area. We do see Bite Me going off onto Frank there. And then the Red Polka taking out ATB, so UCM continuing to kind of just do some work there. We do see a hammer coming out, but he does get rocked in the middle of that. Bob coming out and beginning to contest the point here. Deity taking a little bit of free charge there with his damage sucking thing there, blowing up the shield, just kind of continue to kind of contest that. And then UCM just beginning to hold Aquinas in this little corridor here. Obra taken out by Bite Me, sticky bombs. Peak already got another amplification, make sure it ups and ready. And so UCM's just going to have to kind of come in there. Reckless Morty coming up from behind to try and do some more damage. Peaks here. Jonah coming in and doing a big old slam, seeing if he can get any kind of damage. We do see Peak taking a little bit of damage here. We do see a beat coming out on the side of DD Gaming. DD Gaming continues to do that. ATB does fall to the side of Reckless Morty. A Flux coming out on the side of Deity. And we'll see if he gets anybody. Not really, no. So UCM is going to have to fall back here. Bite Me falling onto the Doomfist here. DD Gaming with a punch onto Peak and says, yeah, I'm not going to deal with this anymore. Valking Mercy trying to continue to contest the point. We do see them trying to stagger out Mick Bunny. And so UCM will get the stagger pick. I don't like it, but, you know, fine. It's a strat. I don't like it when you stagger people out. It's rude.
It helps win the game. You got to win the game.
You know, I get that. Honestly, I do. But, you know, I like honorable things. So ATB switching off of the Zarya for the Roadhog to probably control Jonah here as he's going on a rampage with his ball form. And so UCM is going to have to keep an eye out for that. So specifically Jonah. Jonah does get hammered or gets shield bashed, and he's going to get melted down by Peak. So UCM's going to have a little bit of an issue probably trying to deal with most of this thing here. DD Gaming going to be a little bit to test out, but he does get flashbang. Evlington does take him out. Lucas Morty with a Dragon's out. Bite Me onto the Torb, it looks like. And then UCM just going to continue trying to do some work here. ATB taking a lot of damage. Jonah throwing out some mines onto the back area here. Jonah taking so much damage on the side of UCM, and then Deity does take out his counterpart Noah, so we do see them begin to try and cap the point. It looks like Ober looking to see if he can take off Reckless Morty on the Tracer, not able to get any kind of secured shots with his tree trunk, so UCM going to have to UCM able to, even though it looked like a lost team fight, was able to secure it. Cody,
they were, and that I think came down to the Dragons really, because it created a split where their team couldn't engage as a whole, and they had to find a new way to get to point. And so with that time, they were able to get picks and get positionings that they needed to win that team fight. And I think that was a very good play from Reckless Morty there.
Oh, very much so. So UCM will be in a good position here to continue to hold for the next minute and 44. So UCM has the opportunity. Flux coming out from the side of UCM. DD Gaming does kill Evington in the middle of the Flux. So UCM's going to be able to kind of push forward and continue that. Bite Me just kind of, you know, jiggle popping there as he's trying to get some headshots off. Ober off onto the right-hand side here. We do see Bite Me maybe looking for a warpath here. He's throwing up his turret into the backfield here. Obra a little bit low on health. Can he make it out before he dies? We do see Bite Me throwing out some stuff. DD Gaming getting a little aggressive there and does pay for it with his life as ATB takes care of business there, but they're both going to have to wait for people to get back here. Bite Me does have his splooge ready, and UCM in a good advantage here for holding the point.
They are, and I think, oh, there's a switch to Reaper. That's probably something to help with tearing apart the ball, because what you need to stop a ball is you need good stuns and you need lots of burst damage.
So true. So Jonah being countered everywhere he goes, it looks like, on the side of Aquinas. And so UCM going to have a bit of an opportunity to kind of hold on to it. So they're going to be pushing up into here. Jonah going through and just getting everybody and able to pull out of there. He does have mines up and ready, so if he's able to get back to his point area, he might be able to release the mines into a good area. ATB in the back corner here. He's a little bit low. We do hear High Noon and an amplification maker coming out on the side of Aquinas. Mines coming out, but before he dies, he does get it out there, and it does look like his mines are able to take care of business on the side of UCM. ATB just running around and re-healing himself as DD Gaming does as much as he can, but ATB dies before he can kill DD Gaming, thanks to Reckless Morty saving his teammate's life. and UCM will be able to hold this point once more. And I do believe UCM will win this map, Cody.
It's starting to look like it, and I think that comes down to just controlling space with the Sigma and controlling their backline with the ball so that they can get a good engage.
Very true. So UCM able to come out of the ashes and not get skunked out on this one. So UCM is able to take a map off of Aquinas. And what do you think equated to UCM being able to win that map off of Aquinas, Cody?
I think it was that ball sig pick at the very end to hold that final point. I think it worked incredibly well. I think that Aquinas wasn't expecting it because typically final point, what you do is you pick hard sustain. You pick characters that can just live and live and live, or characters that are super fast and can get back to point. And I think seeing a Sigma who's very slow but can sustain, and then a ball who's very fast, I think that mix-up kind of messed with the way their planning usually goes.
That is kind of what it looked like. Like Aquinas didn't know exactly how to attest to it at the very beginning. It looked like they were beginning to build up something, and they were beginning to slowly progress and get there, but they just didn't have enough time on the clock there, which, you know, we have time on the clock here for you to hear a word from our sponsors.
Taylor Industries is a proud sponsor of UCM Esports, a family-owned and operated business.
Imagine opportunity. Got it? Good. Now pursue it. Choose the right college to cultivate it. Discover your passion, your talent. Now share it. Embrace it. Go global. Find support, network, build your team. Set a goal, work hard, achieve it. Be proud of yourself. Celebrate it. Discover UCM. Discover opportunity in action.
Are you ready to start the interview today?
Might as well go.
What's your favorite car jam to listen to?
Car jam?
Yeah.
I don't know, anything EDM.
What was the first game you ever played?
That would be some Atari game. I'll go with Pitfall.
Who would narrate your life?
I'd have Cuss to do it from the Overwatch League.
If magic was real, what spell would you try out first?
Turn into a dragon.
Would you rather have a third eye or a third arm?
Third arm would be way more useful.
What's the first thing you would buy with $1 million?
An epic gaming setup.
Where's your dream destination?
New Zealand.
Where do you drop the line between soup and cereal?
No comment.
Fair enough. Describe your perfect day.
Playing video games, learning more about it.
If you were a salad, what kind of dressing would you be?
Caesar.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are on Nepal here, so this is your control point, similar to what Li Zhang was earlier. So UCM not really having a good track record there. We do see UCM going a different route to get to the point here, as Obra does use a TP here, so we do see a semester track coming out on the side of Aquinas here, as it does look like UCM will be trying to get to the point first here and begin the contesting phase. And so UCM will... Oh, Jonah charging in there, trying to see if he can get any kind of like damage out onto Aquinas here, but it does look like he's in the middle of them, and a lot of damage being taken down by Trey. Does take care of Noah, and UCM does get a man out of Aquinas there. So UCM's going to have to continue to do stuff, but it does look like Aquinas is not out of juice yet, so UCM is going to have to do lots of stuff here to just kind of contest. But Aquinas does cap the point here, so UCM is going to have a little bit of an issue here. Obra, with that Symmetra pick, is going to continue to just melt the crap out of UCM. Looked a little promising, Cody, but then it fell apart.
Yes, and I think that was Aquinas playing a bit more passive. After they lost somebody, they were like, okay, take a second, breathe. And then we tried to engage, and we used resources to do it. And then once those we didn't find anything with it, once the resources were gone, Aquinas was like, okay, we can just push back at them now.
Very much so. So UCM's going to have to just wait here and just get ready to contest on whatever they can. We do see Jonah kind of pumping in there. Jonah taking a lot of damage into that area. We do see Evlington going on to a high noon run here. Does seem like he gets a little bit of a head nod here. Does find Deity and does take him out, and then finishes off Jonah as his shield breaks. UCM in a bit of a pickle here, trying to get back to his team, but that ain't happening. Evlington again single-handedly taking care of business. And that will be a one-team fight for Aquinas there, Cody.
Yep, and I think that was, again, a bit of a mistiming of movement there. You saw Jonah start swinging, and it didn't look like Deity was ready with a bubble for him to safely swing. you saw he got stunned and then melted after that.
So true. Graviton Surge coming out on the side of Aquinas, Wall coming out on the side of UCM, but UCM is kind of capped off there, but they do survive through the area here. DD Gaming trying to see if they can charge up all he can. Hammer down coming out on the side of Jonah. Does get 2. UCM trying to continue on the push here. Trey does get naded, and so UCM continue trying to do some stuff. Beat coming out on the side of Aquinas. Ellington jumps into the path of Jonah. Blizzard out on the side of UCM, but is gonna maybe acquaint to nothing. Beat is ready on the side of DD Gaming, but UCM continuing to kind of clean stuff up. Graviton Surge coming out on the side of Deity, and UCM able to clean up the rest of the point there. And so UCM looking pretty happy after that team fight there, Cody.
That was a well-won team fight. They were able to just run in there, run someone over, burn them down, and then just repeat the process over and over again until there was nobody left. So they did invest Grav, but I feel like at the end of the day, it was kind of worth it.
So true. We do have Death Blossom up and ready for Trey, so Trey might be able to get something sneaky and something good. So you do hear stuff being pumped up and ready. Aquinas is on the point, and they're going to get it capped up, and so UCM needs to get in there and try and do something. We do see Trey coming in here. He's ready. Death Blossom coming out, but Immortality Field is up as well, but doesn't matter. Beat coming out on the side of UCM. They will be able to try and contest and maybe recap the point here. It's at 99%, and they do cap the point here. UCM is able to win that team fight again based off of Trey being able to get onto those hard flanks, it looks like. But, you know, Aquinas not out of it just yet.
Nope, they have one good team fight left, and then they can win this map. So we have to hold. We can't let them win a single team fight from here on out.
So true. UCM does have the ultimates to try and contest with all they got up there. Edlington, though, does have the zoning ult of the High Noon, so that could be dangerous. High Noon coming out from Edlington. He does go up to the high ground, it looks like. And so he's going to see what he does. Hammer blocked, and Hammer coming out from Noah. Noah able to pin, and Jonah trying to get some more hammer kill, but Edlington comes up and takes him out. Red Polka taken out as well. Noah continuing his swinging spree, and UCM not able really to contest the point that much. DD Gaming does fall, and UCM doesn't get there in time. Jonah trying to get onto the point here. Does get Deity. My bad. Deity's the one who swapped off to Paul. Rickless Morty tried to contest the point as May, and it's going to be no dice, Cowboy. This is just going to be a crazy trickle effect that UCM's going to try and do. But that's going to be it. UCM will be getting close to losing the series here, Cody. It's the final countdown.
It is. They have to pull something pretty crazy on this map in order to win it. Stay in, and then they have to keep that crazy going.
Ever so true. So UCM is going to have to pull out something crazy. We do see Ober looking like he's going to stay on the Symmetra pick. It looks like they are very comfortable with the Symmetra pick on these control points here, Cody.
Symmetra is great at control because the turrets she puts out slows a target as well as doing a decent amount of damage. It's great. And then her beam, which charges up the more damage it does, if you're defending the control point, Symmetra is incredible because you can just beam them down as they walk towards you and then reach that full charge. And I believe it's something like 120 damage per second when she's at full charge.
Yeah, that's going to be a pain in the butt here. So UCM going to be getting onto the point about at the same time as Aquinas does. Edlington does take out Trey, though. Deity taken out by Noah. So UCM will lose 2 of their key players there. Just 2 players in general. 3rd player falling down on the side of UCM. So UCM's going to have to fall back here and just kind of reset here. We do see the ball sig coming out again from UCM here on a control point, Cody.
I find that odd. Control point is... especially when you're not in control of it, you need something with either high sustain to just bust in there, force cooldowns, force them to make a mistake, and Sigma only has 400 health. A ball can't protect anybody else besides himself, so it's tough to get a retake on a map with the control map.
Very true here, so we'll see how well it works out for him. Maybe we'll be surprised as we were on Anubis, but UCM, Jonah getting in there and getting a lot of good damage onto Aquinas there. UCM going to continue to try and do some work as much as they can. Jonah falling into the background here, trying to stay alive. ATB's chasing him down, melting him out, and Jonah's going to try and get out of there, but the Symmetra turns will prevent him from doing anything else there. So UCM again on the back pedal here. Aquinas continuing to have a stoic defense on the point here of Nepal. So UCM just having to sit down, reevaluate, and just get ready for the next push. They are coming up on some ultimates. Jonah does decide that the ball is a bad pick. Deity as well picking a different hero. Looks like UCM is going to be changing heroes up here and resetting a lot of ultimates, Cody.
Yeah, you're losing a lot of time. Like at this point, a Reinhardt would already have Shatter. A Diva would probably be almost all the way to Bomb. and you'd be able to come back into this fight with a bit more resources to win it.
So true. So UCM will be continuing to try and see if they can get onto the point, at least capture some points here. Coalescence coming out on the side of the red polka, so UCM will be trying to get into the area here and try and see if they can get any kind of Pete coming out inside of Peak. Hammer coming out. High Noon coming out. UCM is in a bad place here. We do see Peak coming through and taking out just a speed-boosting demon that he is. Reckless Morty taking out McMoney, though. Obra continuing to just kind of hold on to this point here and contest it very well. We do see Reckless Morty try and get some damage out, but he does fall, and so UCM looks like that's going to be all she wrote, Cody.
Yeah, I don't think they have... Day's going to try and touch the ball, but I don't know if he can in time.
No, it doesn't look like UCM will be able to hold on to it, so that will mean that Aquinas will win the series here 3-1 with a draw in there. So UCM doing their best to try and keep things up and alive for themselves. But, you know, that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. And we'll recap all of that when we get back, and we'll be into our Taylor Industries postgame show, and we'll see you all there.
Culver's is a proud sponsor of UCM Esports. Welcome to Delicious.
Hello and welcome to the Taylor Industries post-game show. Cody, that might have been a loss for UCM, but, you know, going up against Aquinas, who we went against in the finals, I believe this match seemed to be a better performance from UCM than it was in the finals that we saw.
I believe so as well, but that, I believe, actually comes down to exhaustion a bit. Aquinas was the last match we played, and we'd already fought through Cornell, which was a hard-won battle. And so I feel like after that game, the exhaustion kind of sets in. You're not thinking as fast as you usually do. So that might have been why it wasn't as a good performance that we saw tonight. Speaking of good performances.
Speaking of those good performances with that segue and whatnot. So Yeah, our Culver's player of the game will be Jonathan here, the Red Polka. And so, I mean, he did perform better than I've seen him in a while, and I think that's a great thing to recognize. And again, as we said, the match before with Aquinas, we have to kind of boil down to probably exhaustion, as you said, and some other details happening there. But can you explain why Jonathan was given this honor for today?
Today, I'd like to highlight that when he was playing Baptiste, he had window almost every fight. When he was playing Moira, he had coalescence almost every fight, and he wasn't as susceptible. His positioning was a lot better. He wasn't getting dived as often. He wasn't dying from being in a weird spot so much. There was the one instance on King's Row where he kind of pushes a little too far and then gets headshot by Hanzo, but that's the only real big mistake that sticks out from today's match. And I feel like other than that, his play was incredibly clean.
Oh, definitely it was. So Jonathan earning that really well today against Aquinas. And so that will be the end of the GVU Friendlies series or cup or however you want to call it. So we won't be having any more matches on Tuesdays, so that will be reserved for something else, or we just won't have anything streaming on those days. So there will be no regular Overwatch on Tuesdays anymore. So, but what is out and what will be regular for a little bit longer will be the Fall 2021 application that we have out right now for the UCM Esports team. If you want to be on the team, be it Overwatch, be it League of Legends, Rocket League, Rainbow Six Siege, Super Smash Brothers, or NBA 2K21, or if you think we need another team like for Fortnite, or if you're a Halo Infinite fan that's going to be coming out in November, we could discuss all of that. Or if you're wanting to do something else, there is a section within the application to fill that out as well, to pitch the idea of the team, what all it would take, and things like that, so that we may consider and seeing about bringing it about. But all of that, if you're wanting it to be on the starting lineup, to be on the main roster, to be shown in these streams, you have to submit the application by April 30th at midnight in 2021 before you people start getting crazy with years on me. So do keep in mind you need to fill out the Fall 2020 application to be considered for the starting lineup by April 30th, 2021 at midnight. And at that point in time, we will begin the process of reviewing and calling in interviews and trials for players that have applied before or at that point in time. So keep that in mind and whatnot. But on behalf of Cody Polly and myself, we wish you all a blessed day, and we do appreciate you watching the stream today, and we will see you all next time.